So far, so good. Obviously, we traveled down. I think we had 49 travel from Pittsburgh. Anybody that lived outside of about a 100-mile radius, we had them go home for a few days, spent the holiday, could open up some gifts with their family, and then fly out that day. We had obviously some delays with United and Delta, whatever it may be. So we had some guys. Our operations team did a heck of a job. Getting another flight for our guys. I think the last one got in early this morning on a red eye from out west, Joey Yellen. So he was the last man in, but everybody was in for a team meeting last night. So we had everybody except one, which was really good. And again, my hat goes off to Chris LaSalle, Dustin Avolio, and John Ford for setting up those flights. I'm not sure they had a Christmas Eve because they were busy. Every time a kid's flight got canceled because of some of the things going on out there in the country right now. As you probably read if you read the USA Today. But we got them all here and had a great evening last night, Christmas dinner. It was outstanding. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl does it right. Had Santa Claus there, had some guys sitting on Santa's lap last night, and then had a little basketball tournament, which Eli Kasanovich put down 38 points last night, was outstanding. And then we had practice this morning at Georgia State, and got practice number one in. We'll get out there tomorrow morning as well. So I'll open it up for questions.
Okay, thanks, Coach. All right, we'll go ahead and go to questions, and we'll go first to Christopher Carter. Go ahead, Christopher.
Hey, Pat, just wanted to ask you, how have you seen Nick Patty adjusting to everything? You guys have had a lot of confidence in him and, being part of the offense, but now practicing as the guy that's leading the offense. How have you seen him take on those challenges?
Nick is a leader. Nick works his tail off. He's prepared. I think he's watched more tape than anybody last week in the open week that we had or during his finals week. He's been really good. Our players trust him even more importantly. Our players love Nick and trust that he's going to go out there and play his best and can get it done. So I think everything's going great there. And obviously you'd love to have Kenny, but that's not the reality. And again, our kids didn't blink an eye. They feel real good about Nick.
All right, just a reminder to the media to get in the queue for questions. Please use the raise hand feature. We'll go ahead and take our next question from Chris Solari. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Pat, hope you had a good Christmas. The new era here of guys both opting out to prepare for the draft, but also guys that go in the portal. How do you try and navigate that as a coach in terms of, do you keep guys around the program at that point if they're in the portal, or do you just kind of sever ties and say, good luck at this time of the year, in particular with the bowl game?
I think it sets a bad precedent. I watched that Florida game the other night and seeing that the starting quarterback is already in the portal. I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, I think the portal's bad enough as it is. But we've been, Chris, we've been lucky and fortunate, and I think we got a great culture where our guys, hang in there. We got guys coming back for fifth and sixth year, I think. So we have not had that problem. So we're blessed, that way. But I think it's a bad deal when you let guys, go in the portal and still play for you. Like, I wonder, I just wonder what it's like in the locker room. And, you wonder why you lose like that in a game which maybe you should win. So I think, once you go in the portal, you're in the portal and you can stay in the portal.
All right, we'll take our next question from Johnny McGonigal. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, Pat, I know we touched base on this last week, or I guess earlier in the week, but you said once you'd get down to Atlanta, you'd have an interim offensive coordinator announced. Do you have that for us?
I knew you'd ask that, John. The hot topic. Yeah, Tim Sale is going to run our offense. And again, anybody on our offense could do it. And our kids could tell you, I'm sure you'll talk to them next here and talk to them tomorrow and so forth. But it's been as smooth as transition as you can imagine. Again, we've got a bunch of coordinators on our staff, so I trust everybody. But Tim Sale's, been with me for 7 years. Our players have a lot of trust in him. It's just, it left right where it took off, and we're going to do what we do offensively. Again, guys have a lot of faith. So we're going to find out on Thursday night how good it is, and I think we have a great game plan right now, and we just got to get to the game.
All right, next question will go to Jerry D. Paola. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hi, Pat, happy holidays to you and your family. I was just wondering, the long break, I think December 4th was the ACC championship game. The 30th is this game. How difficult is it as a coach to keep these guys focused for 26 days?
You know, I don't think it's easy. We've had better practices than we had today. I said it was a good practice. I'd like it to be a great practice, outstanding practice. But I think it's always hard to start and then stop and then go again. And then, again, I think it's important for our kids to go home for the holidays. But today, I watched practice and it's not as crisp as it was before we left. So you got to get back in that groove. So I think anytime you have time off, it takes time just to get them cranked back up again. And we'll go back out tomorrow and it'll look a lot better than it did today. I think our kids are excited about, playing a New Year's Six game, playing the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I don't know how you don't get excited about that. And they'll be ready to go. We don't have to twist arms to do that. I think we'd have to twist some arms maybe to go play in some other bowl games, but not in the Peach Bowl.
All right. Next question will go to Jonathan Schott. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hey, Coach, question about program building. When you arrived at Michigan State, you guys were working out of trailers. By the time you left, you had a program being built, facilities. When you reflect on what you've built at Pitt since you've been there, what lessons or experiences from your time at Michigan State stand out in the work you've done at Pitt so far?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you learn through it. I forgot about the trailers. You didn't have to remind me of sitting in the trailers in the indoor. Our kids have never heard that story here, but we learned things from Michigan State. We learned things from Cincinnati. We built the Linder Center when we were at Cincinnati. Michigan State was an overhaul of the old offices there in the I don't remember what the name of that building was, Duffy Doherty building. That place was a mess when we got there, and Coach D'Antonio did a heck of a job of renovating it. And we did the same thing. In my first year at Pitt, we didn't really have a team room that was a Division I team room. The locker room had old lockers from old Pitt Stadium in there. We gutted that between January when I got hired and when August started. Those were the two main things for our players, and a players' lounge. Those are the big things. And our building is totally renovated now. It's a top-notch facility that when recruits walk in there and our team walks in there every day, they feel like they got a home in a place that looks like it's Power 5 ACC style. So, but you learn along the road. I'm kind of a builder to begin with, Jonathan. So I've kind of redone basements. So to me, that's part of my DNA is making sure things look good and making sure it's the best for our kids.
All right, we'll take our next question from Anthony Patterson with the AJC. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, with quarterback out, you do have some other guys on your offense able to step up for this game, particularly your running backs, such as like Vincent Davis. How would you describe his progression since he's been there with you?
Vince has done an outstanding job. We got really three good tailbacks back there. I'm not sure where you're from location-wise. I don't know if you're from South Florida, not where Vince is from, down in Fort Lauderdale area. But Vince has done an outstanding job. He keeps getting better. I think all three of those guys have a different tempo back there. You got Izzy Abandoconda, who is just a bigger, faster guy. Vince is a wiggle kind of guy. And then you got Rodney Hammond, who's just a young freshman who's like the little bull in that room. All three of those guys have a little different tempo that Michigan State will have to deal with when all three of them are on the field.
All right, next question will go to Dan Tortora. Go ahead, Dan.
Coach, how are you?
Super, Dan. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
I remember you from the old ACC teleconference days.
Yeah, I miss those days, Coach. And
I know.
That's fair enough. So, Servassier Dennis, just what you could say about recruiting in the Northeast and in the New York area, and just what he's meant to you. He was a quarterback that transitioned to safety and eventually a linebacker, and just what he's meant to the team.
Yeah, Servassier, we got him out of South Jersey. Obviously, he hails from Syracuse, New York. But obviously, the first thing, besides his athletic ability, which you guys see on videotape and game tape, is his intelligence. I mean, he asks coach-like questions on the field. He comes up today about a certain defense that we toyed around with. He's like, Coach, why don't we put that back in there? And I was like, well, because of this. Well, we can fix that, Coach. We can do this. I mean, he's really smart. You'll get a chance to talk to him tomorrow, I'm sure. But he's just, he's one of those guys that you just love to coach at that linebacker position because he knows so much. He knows what the secondary is doing. He knows what the D-line's doing, and he gets everybody lined up.
All right, we're going to take three more for Coach before we move on to the players. We'll go. Let's go back to Christopher Carter next. Go ahead, Christopher.
Pat, I got to ask you the obligatory Jerry question. Can you give us any word on guys who've been missing games lately, especially Jalen Barden and Melky Stovall, especially with Tazier Mack, saying he's definitely not going to play in the Peach Bowl. Have those guys made progress that we might see them on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm always afraid to say yes or no, but Stovall for sure has been good to this point, and Jalen Barden probably could go if we wanted him to. We'll probably make a game time decision with him, but he could probably go. But we want to make sure. So he's down here. He's from this area. He's begging to go. But I don't make those decisions. Our doctors and trainers will. So we'll see as we go. But he's still questionable at this point, I would say, just because I don't make that decision.
All right, next question will go back to Johnny McGonigal. Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, Pat, along those similar wavelengths, you mentioned your guys getting into town, some traveling not from Pittsburgh. Any COVID issues, with your guys, or are you guys all healthy in that regard after practice one?
I'll make the sign of the cross. Right now, we're good. You get scared. You hear of other people having problems, and we're following the advice from our medical people and what to do, how to do it. And right now, this football team is as good as you're going to get. We're good, and we got to get through Thursday. It sounds like things change quickly out there. Hearing what happened at Boston College in Virginia, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and just try to make sure our guys are doing the right things.
All right, we'll take our last question. Let's go back to Jerry DePaola. Go ahead, Jerry.
Pat, sometimes bowl games are as much about the next season as they are the present season. What young guys have shown something in practice the last couple of weeks that maybe we haven't seen much, that we may see a little bit more of on Thursday?
Well, I think, some bowl games are, you're working towards next season, and some maybe young guys are doing that, but this is about 2021. We're still in 21. This is to get win number 12. And I think that's important to every one of our seniors. So I don't know if anybody really wants to hear, we're working on next year, because I'm not. We got plenty of time. We got spring ball. I think we've had maybe 2 show times just at the end of practice for those young guys. But we're focused on, the task at hand on Thursday night. That is the focus. We didn't do any showtime today. We're locked into that. So to say there's some young guys that are going to get opportunities, I can't tell you there's any. We're playing our best guys. We're playing to win. We're not, hey, let's get this guy some reps for next season. That's not going to happen.